Welcome to the first ICMCI product and service webinar. We're just delighted to have this service available to IMCs, where we talk about the products and the services that we have, answer any questions that you might have, and then we have it available as a recorded service going forward. So this will be recorded, and we will be posting it on our YouTube channel, just so that everyone is aware that we are doing that. Everyone is muted because we have so many people on the call that it would be very awkward if we had the background noises. But we will have a Q&A session at the end, and we'll answer any questions you have then, and we'll unmute you so we can have some interactive discussions. And really looking forward to that. We're co-hosting today. Rima Nasser, our Executive Director, will be co-hosting, and we'll be addressing some of the aspects of this product. Hi, Rima. Oh, I think you're muted. Good. And we're just really looking forward to this. I've been involved in the CMC Directory from the days back before I was even elected as treasurer. So it's been something that I've been really a fan of, and feeling that it's an amazing product for CMC. So I'm so happy that it was launched last year, and I'm so happy to share all of this information with you as we go forward. As you know about ICMCI, our strength is in our global network. And we have from around the world, as you see here, about 50 different institutes. They're shown in gold on our global map. And one of the challenges we always have is, how do we collaborate in a way that is meaningful for everyone? And then we also have the white spaces on the map, which are covered by CMC Global Institute. And I see Tamara, the chair of the institute, is on the line. Welcome, Tamara. And through this process, then we cover the entire world. But the question then becomes, how do we ensure that CMCs are properly connected for those who would like to be connected with other CMCs in other countries? I thought I might start just with a few slides about strategy. I won't spend a lot of time on this because my last update, which I sent to all IMCs in February, talked about strategy and our strategic initiatives. But just a reminder that in terms of our vision, we do want to be a leader in the development of management consulting as a global profession that drives both social and economic success. So it's more than just the profession, it's the outcomes of the profession. And our vision is to be a leader in that and to really work in that area. And in order to do that, we have our mission, which is our business. The work that we're doing today is building the profile, the recognition, and influence of the profession and its practitioners globally. So what we're talking about today is going to feed very nicely into both of those. In terms of our strategic goals, at the annual meeting in Nassau last October, the 3 strategic goals and 10 strategic initiatives were approved. The first goal is all around the profession. How do we build the profession? How do we make it stronger? How do we help our consultants, our CMCs, to do better work with their clients, to support them in doing that? So we have 5 strategic initiatives here. And one of them is building the profile through things like our global directories, the CMC Directory and the CMC Firm Directory. So this is one part of the strategic initiatives that we have. Our second goal is around building the network. How do we ensure that all IMCs around the world are able to collaborate? How do we help them build their programs, learn from each other's mistakes as well? And then at the members of the IMCs, how do we help them to collaborate as well? And then third is outreach. How do we support our IMCs in reaching out to other stakeholders? And what should we be doing at a global level in terms of reaching out to stakeholders? So we're working in all of those areas. So what we're talking about today is right in the wheelhouse. It's right smack in the middle of our goals in terms of how do we help CMCs to collaborate globally. So with that, I will turn it over to Rima, and she'll give us some information on the directory.
Thank you, Dwight, for the introduction, and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. The CMC Directory was launched in June of last year. It's a dedicated directory for CMCs, which are your members and your CMCs as IMCs. We are trying now to promote this directory among stakeholders. And Before doing that, we need to increase the number of people that are on the directory. And that's where you come as our IMCs, because you're the ones who have the direct reach to the CMCs. We already linked this directory to our website in order to promote it there. We're already doing some work through the social media, and we're trying to reach out to international organizations. Again, we're trying to increase the numbers in order to make sure that when it is promoted, it has proper info for everyone. Many of our CMCs are already there, and they can actually use it, benefit from it, and benefit from why it was created. It's a directory that you can easily visit. It looks friendly, I believe. It has most of the information about the directory itself. The registration is a very simple process, and we'll go through that when the time comes for it during this session. But the most important part of it is that it is interactive. Any CMC who is on the directory can post articles, can open discussions with other members, and can interact and exchange views. It is done easily. You can tell that we already have sort of columns for information about the directory, but we also have specific columns that would include your uploads, which are your articles. It is also easy for the users that are not registrants. It is easy for people who want to search for CMCs. And it is a simple process, and it has two aspects to it. The first is that it could be done through specialties. When anyone is looking for a consultant in change management, for example, all they need to do is click on change management, and they will get the list of who's registered and has that as a specialty. So the information that the registrants or the CMCs provide during the application process is very important. They need to showcase their specialties, as those are used as keywords in the search engine. Other than the specialty, people can also simply go to the search bar, type in the name of the CMC, and that person would show up if they already know him. If they're not kind of familiar with maybe the terminology to use in order to search, all they can do is click on the search for CMCs, and they will end up with a full list of who's registered there. They would need to browse through it, but at least they do get information and they do get data. Again, the information that they would be able to see is the registrant's profile. The profile would include the name, it would include the image, the uploaded CV, the small bio that he or she wants to introduce him or herself to the people with. So all the information that is included in the registration process would show, and the keywords would end up enhancing the search. Dwight, back to you for the purpose.
Thanks very much. There's four aspects to the purpose that I wanted to introduce you to. So why is it that we're investing in this, and why do we feel it will be helpful to CMCs? The first one is that from the perspective of the CMC, it can really expand their network of CMCs that want to reach more globally. So it's not for all CMCs, but any CMC who wishes to be in contact with other CMCs in other parts of the world, this is the platform for them to be able to find them and to be able to find out what their specialty is, and then ultimately to be able to reach out to them. It provides this platform for like-minded colleagues, as Rima said. They can post articles there, they can post something about their practice, and they can find areas where they have things in common and learn about each other so that they know who they might want to collaborate with in the future. It's open for CMCs to join team. It opens an opportunity, for CMCs to join teams and to create teams. So if there's a global project that I, as a CMC, am interested in, and I know I need a certain expertise, perhaps in the country where the project is based, or I need a certain expertise in another part of the world for whatever reason, this is where I can go to find like-minded people that are interested in working internationally and find out what their specialty is and whether it applies to that project. And then finally, and this will be a little bit further down the road, but finally it provides this platform to promote our CMCs. So once we get that critical mass of CMCs there, we can then promote to different kinds of stakeholders, whether they're international organizations, some of the different banks that provides development support, whatever the projects might be, that we could make them aware that this is where they can come to find certified management consultants that have experience and intend to work globally and internationally, so that they can find people that are available to support them in doing their work. Okay, back to you, Rima.
And now we talk about the tool. This session is about enhancing the knowledge at the end of our IMCs as to why this is important to them. Plus, assist you in promoting it to the CMCs that you have as members. So I'm going to start with why it is important for the IMCs themselves. What ICMCI tried to do is, over the past 2 years, is come up with programs and services that are handed to the IMCs, where immediately it goes down to the second level, which is the CMCs and the consultants, because we're trying to assist you in giving you ready-made products in order to take off some of the burden off of your shoulders and make sure that they're easy to implement. So this directory, it's a ready service. It's already there. It is implemented by ICMCI, and all the IMCs really need to do is pass it on to their CMCs. So a little bit of promotion, but you already have the full product. And what's very important about it is the visibility, because what we're trying to do as the representative of this profession, we're the voice of the profession, is to make sure that our IMCs are also visible, that they have a voice. And of course, that their CMCs have a voice, therefore that the CMC certification gets the appropriate positioning that it should have. So this product would make sure that CMCs and the CMC certification are visible, are known, and that would enhance the knowledge of what it's all about, and most probably would attract more consultants to your IMCs as members, and would attract more of those into the CMC certified category as well. But other than preparing the product, we've also prepared a co-sharing scheme. So an income would be given to the IMCs in order to make sure that their efforts in promotion are somehow covered. It's a full co-sharing scheme. The amounts that are paid and your percent would immediately go into your account at ICMCI, and they will be deducted from your annual membership fees. So it's income as well as visibility, plus a ready-made program. Like Dwight said, it provides a platform to promote all our network. It is not just the IMCs that needs to be visible, it's the full network that needs to be visible. It's the ICMCI, the IMCs, the CMCs, the consultant, everyone needs to be known to the different stakeholders. And that is how we would be able to promote it better among the users of our profession, among those who look for us for guidance, among our clients, plus among the donors and the international organizations and what have you. So this product, with proper promotion, would actually gain a pull type of effect, which is what we need at this moment. Having talked about those benefits to the IMCs, I will move now to the benefits to the CMCs themselves, because by the end of the day, we also need to assist you in promoting this product to the CMCs. Now, if I'm a CMC, what it is that I want to move myself from being a national or regional provider into being an international one. Barriers are just falling off. We all can provide this international service. And being CMCs, then we're more capable than others. So why not give ourselves the window, which is the directory, to be able to reach others? So if you want to promote yourself as an international consultant and have an international profile, we're aiming for this to be your tool. Other than that, it's what I already talked of before. It's the share of knowledge. It's not just about giving out even. It's about sharing with other colleagues. It's having like-minded professionals talk together, interact, be on the same platform, and learn from each other, as well as share the knowledge that they have. So it's about interaction, it's about networking, and of course, when this gets more mature, you will have the possibility also of learning together, because we're aiming to have regular virtual meetings where you as experts could participate in those meetings and listen to other experts as well in our profession, in order to encourage knowledge sharing, as well as enhancing and working towards enhancing your CPDs as well. So all of this goes down to the fact that, do you want to be at the front line, or do you want to take a back seat? If you want to work in global projects, if you want to be part of international teams, then please consider this as the tool that we are trying to provide in order to enhance that capability. Now, the world is in havoc now. Things are happening around us that we have no control over. But the only thing that kind of makes this different is the fact that all the world is suffering from it. So when the time comes for all nations to come out of the havoc that we are in now, and the crisis that will follow, and all the impact that it will leave, then it's our opportunity as consultants to be there at the front line. And maybe such a directory would be the tool to make us well known as the leaders in doing this. We all need to be as one, and this directory offers that. Now, what we try to do as well is make sure that other than making those benefits clear to you as IMCs and clear to the CMCs, what we did is we provided a template, a small one, that you can consider an ad, or you can consider like a teaser, where we highlighted what is important. We kind of designed that with the same look and feel of what ICMCI is all about, in order for you to share with your members. Now, we included all the benefits. We included what the directory is about. We included what the subscription fee is, and we put in all those benefits that your members would gain from. It is highlights, and you can tailor it, you can translate it to your language, so it is something that is considered kind of a base for you to think of in order to use for the promotion. Other than the ad itself, we also followed it up with what the registration process is all about. Again, it's small steps. It's an application, registration, and then payment and go online. But there is one step that we need to take care of, and that is the validation of the CMC, because ICMCI's members are the IMCs. We know that you have CMCs, but we do not have access to those, and we actually do not know if they are good members of your institutes or members in good standing, in the term that we keep using. So we need to validate that the person that applies is a member of good standing in his or her IMC in order for us to complete the application process. So that is where you come. If you address it in a prompt manner as an IMC, then that makes this procedure take only 3 or 4 days, okay? Online payment is available, so that makes it seamless. It doesn't put barriers towards payment, and by the time that process is done, the person would have his or her profile on the website. Back to you, Dwight.
I'm advancing the slides. I got a little bit behind there, but that was a very good overview. Thank you. I think that's going to be very helpful in terms of the registration procedure. And then this last point on the template is about the special offer of 25 euros per year. So so what the reason we've come up with the special offer is that when we originally launched the program, we launched it at 100 euros per person. And the feedback we got was that for the startup of a program where there isn't a lot of value add coming back, because the smaller number of people, the less value you get in terms of networking, that it was too high a price. So we looked at that. Reem and I had some meetings at that. We looked at what the costs are that we need to support at ICMCI to support this directory, and we decided that between now and the next annual meeting that we'll implement a 75% discount. So that means that the annual fee is 25 euros per person until then, and we'll decide what happens after that. And we can even get some feedback from members in terms of what seems like a reasonable fee. We have other initiatives in terms of global networking as well, which are underway in our main strategic plan. So we'll see how all of that ties together at the time of the annual meeting. So anyway, the bottom line is now is fire sale time. So I think this is a great deal for a CMC. I was one of the first to sign up at the 100 euros. At the 25 euros, I can now be a member for 4 years. The other feedback we got from some institutes is that the Institute felt that this was an important service, but they would like to offer it as a service to all of the interested CMCs in their country. So rather than have each one individually apply or not, they said, can we come up with a bulk deal, some way of making available this service to any CMC that's interested. We know that all CMCs will not be interested. Many are very happy and productive working in their own community or their own region within the country and are not interested in consulting internationally, but some would be. So what we've agreed to do is with those IMCs that would like to offer that as a service, start a conversation with RIMA. We'll work out what the costs are to set all of that up and come up with a flat rate for the whole institute, and then figure out how the data transfer would work, all of those things. And then at that point, that institute could offer this as a service to their CMCs in their country. The other point I wanted to make, this is the ICMCI website, and if you when you're logged on to the ICMCI website, if you scroll all the way over to the right, there's Find an Expert. If you click on that, it has a drop-down box, and at the drop-down box you can find Certified Management Consultant, and that leads directly to the CMC directory. So we want to be able to feed information, and we'd hope that IMCs that over time would also start getting those kinds of connections, and then also we can do that for the CMC firm and the ISO 2700 trained individuals. And then the CMC Directory, .cmc-global.org. It's a mouthful, but this is the direct link that you would need to be able to access the CMC directory itself. We didn't do a live demonstration for you because the technology sometimes gets away from us, but if you go on here, there's not a password required. You can just go in and you can play around in there. I think Rima and her team have done a great job of putting this website together. It's very easy to use, it's intuitive, and I think your CMCs will enjoy. So that brings us to the final portion of this webinar. We wanted to take about 20 minutes or so, and we see we're just about 25, so that's great to give you some overview. But now this is about you and any questions that you have in terms of your institute, or if you're a CMC, which I see some logged on are, how this might work. So that we can answer any questions that you would like. And do remember, these are recorded, so your questions will be recorded for posterity, and will help many others who have the same questions when they watch the recorded version of this webinar. So let's open it up for questions. Okay, here's some questions coming up in the chats. Dwight, will this enrollment automatically link to our existing profile within our home country, e.g. my IMC USA profile? At this point, we don't have that technical capability. This is something that we can look at as the directory grows and gets more mature, but we don't have that capability at this time. Rima, is that correct? Do you have anything to add on that one?
That is correct, Dwight, because we would need to properly interface, and once we understand that technical part, we would be able to answer the yes or no. Plus, we would need to understand what the type of directory that they have, compare information so that it becomes seamless. Other than that, it might be an issue, especially with IMCs that may not be using English as the main language, since this directory is only in English.
Thank you. There's another question from Daniel Chan for you, Rima. You mentioned about the co-sharing the income with IMCs. Would you please elaborate on this?
Thank you, Daniel, for that question. let's talk about the 100 and then talk about the 25. As mentioned, the original price was 100 euros. The co-sharing was 25 euros to the IMC, 25 to ICMCI, and 50 to cover the cost. However, when we did the special price, it differed a bit because we had already kind of spent less on it. So we decided to decrease the share for ICMCI and do the following: the 25 euros, 10 euros go to the IMCs, 5 euros to the ICMCI, and 10 euros go for covering the cost. So it differed a bit, but and the percent maybe became, the amount became less, but that is our way of making sure that we have more numbers on the directory in order to help us with the promotion. We would need numbers for those.
And in terms of that revenue for the IMCs, that gets credited to your account at the Secretariat, so it reduces your membership fee the next year.
Correct.
Here's a question from Randy Baldwin in Canada. I understand some countries may opt to put all their members on the directory. Is this correct? Have any countries moved ahead on this? Mostly yes, Randy. Some countries may opt to have any interested members, so any members that choose to join the directory or be made available to all of the members in that country. And no, IMC Canada has expressed an interest in that. Austria has also expressed interest, but no one else at this point. But we're only just now starting to promote it as well broadly. Others are interested as well. But I really do want to underline that it wouldn't be advantageous for an IMC to register all of its members on the directory, because what we want to do is help CMC self-identify who are interested in working internationally, working globally, and want to be active members of this. So there has to be that, they have to put their hand up that they want to become a member. Rima, anything to add on that one?
One thing is that it is only for CMCs. So IMCs who have members other than CMCs, then they would actually need to do a bit more work in identifying, number one, who wants to go international, number two, provide only this service only to the CMCs in their IMC.
Okay. And this is a question from Dr. G. Oh, this one's right in my wheelhouse. What is the IMC action plan to actively recruit, retain, and promote younger CMCs as a way of building IMC for the future? Too many IMC chapters seem to focus their attention only on CMCs over the age of 60. Since the microphones are off, I hear some laughing about this. This is an entire strategic initiative, number 4 in our goal number 1. Is to look at exactly this question, because this is an issue that is faced generally by IMCs, and in fact it's an issue that's faced by many professional associations around the world. The way in which professionals affiliate with their institutes has changed dramatically because of increased access to knowledge, increased access to different types of networking, and so on. So we do believe that we need to come up with a way of appealing to and providing value-added services to those new entries into the market, whether they're mid-career or whether they're straight out of university. What is that toolbox that we can offer to these individuals that is ICMCI branded through your IMC, that the new entry says, this is what I need to help me be a better consultant. In the meetings that we've had so far with new entry consultants, they're quite confident in their ability to provide their specialty service, but they don't know what they don't know. And after they've been in consulting for a while, they realize that having the method, that what the CMC teaches us, what the ISO 2700 guidelines give us, are that the method of management consulting, how you run a firm, how you timekeep, how you write proposals, how you value your services, all of these things are really, really important. So we've struck a task force. We'll be announcing that task force in the next week or two to look into exactly this question, and we'll have a full report for you by the annual meeting in this fall in terms of a business model for what is the probably digitized way that we can provide this toolbox to new entry consultants that can get them in the door. And from there, we can give them professional development, we can get them as associates, we can perhaps get them as members, and ultimately get them certified as CMCs. Sorry, you touched my hotspot there, because this is something that's critically important to the profession. We will be putting energy into this year to provide help and support to IMCs, and we will be involving IMCs in the process. Any other questions? Rima, any closing remarks for us?
Actually, a question from my end. How ready are the IMCs to promote this? What's their willingness level? I know that we are going through hard times again, like I said before, and maybe some things get put on the shelf, but I believe that this is very important now, and I kind of explained why. So what I would like to know from the present IMCs, how ready are you to promote this among your CMCs? How much can you give us from your time at this moment in order to grow this, to enable us to promote it properly for stakeholders? Could any of the IMCs kind of provide input?
I have a text from Randy. Thanks, Dwight. Great initiative. So please text, or if anyone would like to address this, I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I'd like to say something here. Samara. So yeah, I believe what we're going through these days puts more emphasis on the need to be ready for a global market, and this directory is a good way to move in that direction. I believe that at the Global Institute, we should be promoting this for our members, because one of our purposes is to make sure that we have the right linkages between our consultants and they're able to provide services in the different markets. The challenge that comes to mind is that with online transfers, bank fees can become hefty, especially when compared to the amount of the 25 euros. That's something that we need to address in terms of maybe putting this amount together with their annual fee or something like that, just to make sure that we don't burden our members.
One note on that, Tamara, and thank you for this input. The online payment actually ends up deducting the fees from us and not from the applicants, okay? So to them, they're only paying the 25 at this stage, and all the fees related to that will be deducted by EMS from our account.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
This is Konstantin from IMC USA. Can you hear me?
We can, yes. Hi.
Great. Nice to see you, and it's a great initiative.
Hi, Konstantin.
What we've actually been doing up till now is on our monthly newsletter called The Connector. We already have this as a small promo, so to speak, under the section International Window, number one. And number two, we have the social link. It's a platform for our members to connect. And what we've also have been doing is we also posted news about this webinar on this platform as well. And we will continue posting news and anything relevant for this. Lastly, what I will do is I will get in touch with our executive director, Gregory Brooks, and ask him to take this matter and examine the possibility for a bulk, let's say, proposal, so to speak. And we'll see how it will go. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd like to underline the comment that Rima and both Konstantinos and Tamara referred to is the virtual meetings. It's so easy now virtually for us to be able to reach out for this kind of an event, to come together and to share ideas and talk. And the CMC Global Directory is a platform for doing that as well. And what's happening with COVID-19 now, I think, is only going to accelerate people's willingness and ability to do the virtual meetings and to increase the globalization, if you will. So number one, thank you for taking time in these very stressful times. But number two, I think this is the leading edge of the kinds of things that we as a profession really need to explore deeply. Daniel Chan, virtual meetings are great for knowledge sharing with other CMCs globally. May I know the frequency and topics of these meetings? Hey, there you go. What a wonderful segue. We had planned originally to do 2 or 3 of these in a year, like one a quarter kind of thing. But given what's happening and given the feedback we've received for this one and the good attendance at this one, I think Rima and I will talk about how often we can do them. So we more often than the 4 times a year, I think, but exactly how often we don't know. And on our events page, I think maybe we could post what the upcoming ones are on our ICMCI webpage so you can see what's coming up. And certainly we would do the invitations for each one separately as well. The next one planned is for the CMC firm, and Rima and I have already agreed that that's an important one. So we'll have someone who's not me, but the one that is from the board that is leading on the CMC firm directory initiative, and that person and Rima will host that one. Excellent, thank you, Daniel. Any other questions? Okay, I think we've got the well dry, Rima. Thank you. Thank you very much for collaborating. Thank you everyone for your time. I really appreciate this. If other questions come to mind, do feel free to reach out to Rima or myself or to Hosseima, who can get the question to the right person, and we'd be very happy to enter into any discussions with you. Rima, last word to you.
I want to say thank you. I want to say I hope you all keep safe. Please take care of yourself and yours. It is hard times, but the ICMCI family will prevail. I know that for a fact. We're experts. We know how to deal with situations, and this is something that we would just ride through. Take care, everyone, and be safe, please.
Thank you. Be safe, healthy. Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.